Hello, friend. Welcome to my YouTube channel, DevOps with Anil. In the previous lecture, I have explained you what is Kubernetes, what are the architecture of Kubernetes, why we need Kubernetes. Today, our topic is that the architecture which I shown you that one master node and two slave node. Today, I am going to install the same thing configuration into a AWS VM. We are not using EKS today. EKS installation, I have already created a video. I will add the link on the top right of the video. You will check it how to install EKS cluster using EKS-ctl command. But today we are going to use installation for all the Kubernetes official documentation, which is having a bootstrap way to start Kubernetes using kubeadm tool. For learning purpose, we can use that, but not for production one. Production, we need more configuration, and in generally, if we are deploying on Kubernetes on cloud, any cloud, we generally use native like AWS for EKS. It have lot of other benefit as well, and we no need to use those things. But if you don't want to that EKS and you want to use their own means you want to install own Kubernetes cluster, the official way to do is that use kops. So this is another third party open source which provides cloud native deployment without using their Kubernetes s- Kubernetes cluster as a service. So you can use their VM and all, and you can install it. That video I will create later, but now today I am going to explain you how to install Kubernetes cluster using kubeadm in AWS virtual machine. The prerequisite is that you should have one AWS account, and you should have a permission of AWS account basically to create VM and all, and open a security group and all. So today I have selected the region Hyderabad. Generally, Hyderabad is not enabled. You need to enable in Go VPC and enabled it. I already enabled it, but you can choose any of the region. It doesn't matter. Okay. Why I choose Hyderabad specifically? Because in Mumbai I have lot of other machines, uh, and also there are other configuration is already done. So I want to show you what are all the configuration required to do in running in AWS with Kubernetes from the scratch. Nothing built over here yet. So no security group, nothing. It should be nothing present over here. If I show you EC2 dashboard, the default security group is only present. So these are the default one which is present. Okay. So let's start with security group. Let me create it for one security group. Uh, Security group name. Let me type EK, no, k8s. Description k8s. VPC, I don't have any other VPC than default, so I'm not going to create new VPC. For security group, right now, this is for learning purpose only, so I am enabling the traffic all. But if it is not a learning purpose, if it is a proper production one, then we should use the minimal access. But for now, I don't want any problem with the security group. So for now, starting you can put all traffic. Later we can disable this one and create another one which have a specific security group. Public IP, source IP anywhere, and enabling all security security access world. It will open for world. Anyone can access this machine. Means when I use the security group, then only it will be used. So create security group, nothing else we need to fancy. Now, so what our architecture, one master node, two slave node. So let me quickly create first one master node, launch instance. Here cube master, anything you can put name, nothing fancy over here. I am going to select Ubuntu, latest version of Ubuntu AMI, so no problem with that. Here instance type, I am going to use T3 medium because 4 GB RAM and 2 CPU is required. So this one, here I don't have any key pair for login to the machine, so I need to create a key pair. So click over here. Either you can use PEM or PPK. I preferably use PPK because I am going to use PuTTY. But if you are using OpenSSH, then go ahead with PEM file and put any name. So let me put k8s for me. You can put any name, doesn't matter. But this file will download only once, so keep it secure. And this is the only file you can authenticate in the machine. So make sure you are keeping secure this one, so that no one can access your VM from anywhere. So this file is downloaded. Now in section of the security group, in networking section, VPC we are going to select default, assigning or auto assigning, so no problem with that. Firewall security group, I don't want to create any existing one. I already created one, so I need to select that one. And the hard disk of the machine is going to be let me put 50. Okay, so when we select T3 medium, it will give you the 2 CPU and 4 GB RAM, and I think that's it. So the number of machine we want one only for master, and for slave node or worker node, I can say we can go with lesser capacity of that node is also fine. Okay, so let me launch instance. It's launching. Okay, so till the time it is ready, let me go through the documentation of Kubernetes architecture, because VM it will take a little bit time, 1 or 2 minutes. So till the time, let me explain you Kubernetes documentation. So you need to search Kubernetes doc on Google and you will land over this page, kubernetes.io.doc/home. So this is the official documentation of a Kubernetes, where for installation we need to go start and production environment. So in production environment we need to go with this means setups, but right now I am not going to create a completely production environment. So right now I am skipping this, but the thing is that the single machine Kubernetes learning environment has single point of failure. Create a high available cluster means considerable. So when thing is that learning environment, basically you need only you can install minikube and all, and it will work for you. So this is suggestion: minikube, you can install it on your machine. It will have a master node and worker node in the same machine. Only one node will be available, but for better performance and other things, you can go with the installation of production one. So the requirement is that first we need a container runtime. As I explain you in the architecture, that CRI is a container runtime engine for all the node. Even though master node, I didn't mention it, but it is a requirement that master node can be a slave node as well. So for running a load, we need a container runtime. So for that, uh, we need CRI install. So there are what are the CRI we have in a Kubernetes supported? So container D, CRI-O, Docker engine, and Kubernetes container runtime. So I am going to use Docker engine for that. For Docker engine, we need to installation for official page. The installation of official page, we need to select Ubuntu because we have Ubuntu machine. So the installation will be simple. We need to copy this and paste it into the cluster. It will install, means it will prerequisite of the Docker, it will added in the apt repository, and then simply we need to install those things. Once Docker is installed, then we need to install CRI Docker D, because Kubernetes under the hood, it is going to use CRI socket of this path. So we need to install this CRI Docker D. For installing CRI Docker D, we need to follow the release page. Basically, it will give you the binary, and once you have binary for Ubuntu, you need to select this one, AMD. You need to select download it and place it, and you need to create a service file for this so that it will automatically run up, and socket file for creating a container d sorry CRI docker d dot sock file. So those things you need to create by yourself. I already documented those things. I will show you in a few minutes. But okay, so once this socket d is configured, we just need to go here and we need to install. Let me show you a little bit over here as well. So there are many method and tool for setting up own production Kubernetes cluster. For example, kubeadm is also one of them. Today we are going to use this one. Cluster IP, Kubernetes sub project focused on provisioning, declarative API, and tooling to simplify provision, upgrading, and operating multiple Kubernetes cluster. So it will be another way to do that. Kops, the one which I have tell you, that it is help you to provision in the cloud specific things website. And Cube Spray is also Ansible playbook and inventory, they already created for that, and you can directly run the means Ansible playbook and it will create a cluster and all. So today's target is the kubeadm for now, so focusing on that. But others, I have tried and tested it, the cops one. So I will make sure I will make a video for this as well. So for bootstrap using kubeadm, so click on this, and in the following section, this is just version means giving a information. You can go through those things before you begin. So the thing is that minimum requirement is 2 GB RAM, 2 GB or more RAM per machine, and 2 CPU. So that's the reason I have selected T3 medium. It is a cheaper and have capacity to run the Kubernetes cluster load. Okay. For AWS, we no need to verify this thing because it is going to provide a new machine and new hosted, so it is already those things is configured. IP, we haven't run anything on that machine, means even I haven't logged in yet, so it is nothing running over there. Okay. Container runtime, we already seen that, so we can use it, and we can see this one. We are going to use Docker engine. Docker engine is going to use this one. Okay. What else? These are the basic requirement which is already downloaded at the time of Docker installation, so we can skip this part. And these are the repository. It is adding a repository of a Kubernetes, and also that's key. Okay, and then it is just basic setup. So till now, whatever I have explained in the documentation, I already created a document, means created a script file for the same, so that I can execute it. I don't need to just copy paste there. I just execute this script onto my Ubuntu, and this will be ready for that master. But note that we need to execute this till this command in each and every machine. We can skip the kubectl one, but apart from that, kubeadm and kubelet is required in each machine. Actually, not each machine. Kubeadm is required for master node only, but kubelet is required in each machine. So by default, we are going to install each and every thing on each machine. But in the above of the commands like docker installation, CRI docker D installation, and kubelet is required for each machine, because those are required to run on each machine. Kubelet is responsible for running container in each machine. So kubeadm is going to run a kube API server, but the API server is going to communicate with kubelet of each node, and each node will be when they are going to run the any load, kubelet is going to tell that container CRI docker D to run this container on this machine. So each machine should have those capability. Okay, so by default we need to execute these steps in each and every one where. Okay, so let me quickly see that if my machine is ready. I hope it is ready now. Its status is 3/3. So let's log into this machine. For logging, I need just public IP. I am going to use putty. So here I need to just paste putty, and remember I have downloaded a authentication key for SSH. So K8 I need to select it and open it, and just open it. So accept that, and its user will be Ubuntu. It is logged in. Let me increase the size. Appearance. I think 18 will be fine. Okay, now first let me tell you, let me create the file over here, vi kube-basic.sh, and click I for enable insertion in this file. So it is showing insertion. Now we need to copy our whole code. Copy. I will explain this file as well, and right click just so that it paste it. And for saving, escape :wq exclamatory mark enter. So it will save that file. Now I can cat this on that file kube basic. So this is the file. Okay, I'm not going to explain from here because it's not good readability gives us. So let me first execute it, because for execution it will take time. So for execution, first we need to give the permission of that file, chmod plus x for executable permission, and kube basic, and now dot slash kubebasic.sh. So this will install the things, everything. It is running, but let me explain in the meantime what are inside the file. So as per the documentation, these are just the two methods I have created for printing. So if you see, the printing of a green one is just when I selecting the print, it is showing that. And check service is a method which will check that if service is up and running or not. So this is going to be used for that method. So first of all, first thing is that we need to update our Ubuntu system. For that, this is the command, it is running. And then it is installing the basic dependencies required for at the time of Docker and Ubuntu installation. Docker and Kubernetes installation. What are the basic supporting libraries and software required? It is available over there. Now I'm setting the Docker GPG key file, and here we are verifying that key file. After verification, adding to the Docker apt repository, we just need to use update and then install all the Docker plugins. It is the way the doc copy means that I have shown you the documentation. I have created a script, but each line I have just putting a message over here, and here just enabling that Docker and starting the Docker engine. Okay, now here for CRI Docker D version. So I shown you the release page. Let me show you again. The release page, the version is 0.3.15. So I am using that version only, latest version in the here 0.3.15. Creating a bin directory and downloading the tar file, AMD file. Make sure that for Ubuntu AMD file you download it and extract it in this folder. After extraction, we need to install it, means basically we need to install and move to the this directory, means when you extract it, it will create one folder called CRI Docker D, and inside that folder there is a file, binary file, actual binary file. That file need to be moved from local to in this place. So I am moving that, installing this command will install and make the permission of that. After that, I need to setting up the service, because we have binaries, but it will run automatically when a system start. It will automatically start. For that, we need to make sure create a service for this file, means this binary. For service, we need to add a one file in this specific location /etc/systemd/system, because when our Ubuntu machine start, all the services present over here, it will pick automatically and start it. So while creating this file, I am adding this content in that file. So I have this is problem I was facing, how to create a service in that CRI service. So I have researched it and found it that this is the file. I will share this file into my YouTube channel. You can check it, or I will give you my OneDrive link where you can download this whole script file into your local. No problem with that. But this is the whole file is need to be present. And same thing for CRI socket. So socket, what socket will do? It will create a, when a socket will enable it, it will create a /var/run/ CRI docker d sock file for you, which is going to be point in a Kubernetes by default. So this file also need to be required. After that, we are changing the services system. So we need to reload the system. We just enable the service and enable the socket as well, and start the CRI docker service. So it will when we start that, this execution will start and it will start the CRI docker d on the machine. Okay, and now the print message verify checks means it will check the docker, and this is a method I have created in above. So it will check that service name, and this command will execute. If it is running, then it is fine. If it is not running, it will fail. And the last bit is that for Kubernetes, I already in the same machine I already executed the dependency, so I'm not going to install again the dependency. And here just adding a official key into the apt repository, signing that, and then executing the command, basically installation command and all. And that's it for basic installation, which prerequisite for all the node, for master node and the for slave node. So I have created the script. I can execute the same script in each machine. For now, let us check. Oh, it is executed till now. So master node is ready, but it is not yet started the Kubernetes cluster yet. It is just installation process. That now we need to configure the cluster over here. Okay, for configuring a cluster, let me show you the documentation. Till now we have executed the last line of the command is this one. If I show you, see, kubectl enable now kubelet, kubectl enable now kubelet. So this page is done. Troubleshoot, right now we don't have any error, so we are not making any checking over here, but once we get error, then we need to check that. Now we need to create cluster. Now we are trying to create a cluster. So what is the cluster creation required? It is saying that we need to use IP. So we need a private IP of this machine. So we can execute this command. Okay, so what would be the private IP? This is my private IP. You can match this from here, and also we can match from UI as well. let me show you in UI. Basically public IP, and this is my private IP. So you can match it 172.31.41.59, and here 172.31.41.59. So this will be the same. Okay, so we got a private IP. Now what next? Installation, initializing your control plane node. So it is going to be initializing. Right now we are not having high availability, we have a single node. So choose the pod network. We need to choose pod network. This is the main one, which is basically providing which argument is required one for the kubeadm init. We need to execute kubeadm init, and we need to put the cluster endpoints and all. We need to provide it. So I already have ready the my kube init command. So I will paste it directly into master node. Let me clear this, and here. So let me explain you. kubeadm init is going to execute. We need to provide the private IP of this machine. Then pod network. Pod network means whenever you create a resource, means basically any pod, any batch job, which is also under the hood pod is going to create. So what IP would be assigned for pods? This will be the range 10.224.0.0/16. And if you are creating a service, so what would be the range of service? This is the service range. And remember that we have installed CRI docker D. So let me exit from this, control C, exit from this. I didn't execute it yet. First let me have this path ls-ltr/var/run, and see, here we have CRI docker d.sock. So once we have created a socket and all, it will create it over here. So let me now again paste it and just press the enter. So it will try to create a cluster for us. Till the time it is cluster is creating, let us quickly launch 2 machine more, so that we can join those machine into this cluster after the cluster creation is done. So quickly we need to go same cluster. Let me launch instance. Here kube-slave or kube-worker. Let me launch 2 machine directly over from here. Ubuntu again. It is not hardcode requirement of Ubuntu, but Ubuntu I prefer to use it. OS is fine. Not T3 micro or T3 medium. Any machine we can select it. It should be minimum requirement is 2 CPUs should be there. So T3 medium is fine. Key pair, I'm going to use same key pair. It doesn't need to change. SSH security group, I'm also going to use the same security group for here, because it is already open everywhere. So everything, so no problem with that. Space is also 50 GB, and that's it. We need to launch. So these 2 machines are launched. We can go on instances. Kubeworker, let me type it here, kubeworker -1. It will identify that. Oh, -1, and then click here, -2. Okay, so let me log into the first one, get public IP, click over here. Oh, it is already created. So let me quickly open new session. Ubuntu at the rate this, and the key will be k8s open. So it will logged in over here. So this is a worker one. Let me increase the size. Appearance 20 would be fine. So here just we need to use kube-basic.sh, insert for I, and then copy all the command from here and just right click, paste it, save it, chmod +x kubebasic /kubebasic.sh, and that's it. It need to be run. It is running, so keep it. Let me log in to another machine quickly. Copy the public IP. New session. Ubuntu @ public IP SSH auth key and open. Accept, and it logged in. So again, change setting, appearance 20, apply, clear, vi kube-basic.sh, insert, paste it. Okay, chmod +x kubebasic./kubebasic. So I have executed both machines for minimal installment, and in the master node, if you see, we have created a cluster, and the thing is, we need to make sure that we need to execute execute this command to get an access of a cluster in our local. So let me execute this directly. Okay, now kubectl get all. So this cluster is get all, means it will give the command get node. It will give you the nodes detail. So not yet ready. Why it is not yet ready? Because we have created a cluster, but we didn't enable the networking. In the meantime, I am keeping this this piece copy in my local, so that I can use it at the time of joining of the cluster. Okay, so let me copy over here. Let me control N and paste this. Okay, so this token is required at the time of joining my machine. Okay, joining my machine to the slave nodes. So any number of slave node I can add it by using this. Now we need a pod network. So see in the recommendation. So us go into the documentation again. After creating a cluster, we need recommended join node installing pod network add-on. So this one is the we need to install it basically. Simply installing, prefer the installation installing add-on. So let us see what are the installing add-on. So I am preferably use this flannel. So here for deploying a funnel with kubectl apply, we just need to make sure that if you are custom not this. So if you remember that I have given the IP of a pod network is this. So we can without having any issue, we can directly create this, means copy this line and directly executed it. If we have different, if we provided a different any range of pod range, it will be then created by manually with this helm and all. So I have used this one pod network, so we are happy to use this one directly. So let me go on master, clear, and then directly apply this. So it will created a namespace and all, a role, whatever the role required and all, those are created. Now let us check the kubectl get node. It will ready for few minutes. Yeah, these applies are running now, so it is ready. So let me show you what are the pods running right now. When cluster is created, what are the default pods are going to created automatically. Ctl get pods hyphen a is used for all the namespaces, because right now we are in a default namespaces. If I don't pass anything, it will say no resource found in the default namespace. So we need to check all the namespaces, what are the things created. So if you check flannel is created lastly, because 73 second ago, because we have applied from the last, and this is in the namespace of this is flannel, and the pod name is this. Okay, and other services like core DNS, it is created by the kubeadm. etcd is also created by the kubeadm kube API server, which is heart of the Kubernetes. It is created by kubeadm kube proxy and kube controller, kube scheduler. So these are the major component which I told you that in the architecture. So where is con? Yeah. So etcd it is running as a pod right now, but if you want to extract those things, there is a way to do that. You can run, because etcd is not of it is a third party software which is uh, loosely coupled with Kubernetes. But if you are using kubeadm, it will be installed directly on as a pod. But if you want to extract from the Kubernetes master, you can do that. There is a way. If you are going to go on certification of a CKA, then you will need to do that, means practice of that thing as well, because they will ask a specific question regarding that part. Kube API server is also, it is created as a pod. It is a heart of that. Scheduler and control nodes are also created running as a pod. Okay. Now, right now, if you see kubectl get nodes, there is only one node. But if I try to means we have already launched two more machines. So here these machines are long. Basic requirement is run in both machines. If you see, the IP is 36 to 46 and 4122. Both have done it. So we need to join it into the our cluster. How we can do that? Basically, going to use if you remember, I have copied the kubeadm join command. So we need to just copy this line. Why we need kubeadm in the worker node? Because of the, we need to join it, we need to execute this command on that, and kubelet is basically going to use for pod. Okay, need to be run. Okay, need to be run on sudo user. Okay. Okay, so it is confusing that which one we are going to use. Basically, container D as well as CRI docker D is running both. So it is confusing it. So we need to pass a command like hyphen 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 CRI socket, and then this Unix. Let me execute now. Okay, so it is pointing to that one. So let me copy this and add to that as well into my here CRI, and initially I need to add sudo for next machine. And then we can use the next machine. This is executed, this here it is not executed, so let me execute it. And yeah, starting kubelet and healthy and all, and we can do that. Now we can check here kubectl get nodes. So one is control plane, one is this one is ready, and this should be ready in few minutes. No, it's not yet. Let us wait for it again. Yeah, this is ready now. So now we can create any load for right now. I'm just showing you the installation purpose. Let me test one, create a one resource, but I will explain you each and every thing for Kubernetes, what are inside that. I will explain you later on the video, but for now today, just we are going to run kubectl run pod run nginx and hyphen hyphen image nginx. So pod is running, kubectl get pods. So this is creating a container. It is going to be download. We can check that kubectl get event. So polling, it was polling and all, everything is doing on the pod, and it should be started now. Yeah, it is running. So it is running without fail. So That's it for today's lecture. We can conclude here. I will explain you later other things on what inside the Kubernetes. But for today's topic is done. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you.